I'll show you one more time. Just take your cord, wrap it around, say 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring it all the way back down. Cross your starting point right here. Bring it around the back. Cover those that you just laid down over the top, and just under, over, under, over, under, over, and under. Bring it around, and there you have your Turk's head. Now I'll show you the enlargement process right after this, so that you can see how to enlarge this Turk's head to any size you want. My recommendation is to get Tom Hall's books, or his main book on Turk's head, Introduction to Turk's Head Knots, and I'll show you a few pages out of that so you can see what I mean. About Introduction to Turk's Head Knots, you can pretty much make any kind of Turk's head you want in this book. And if you like, you'll see the process I just showed you. Tom goes into more detail on this and has a diagram you can follow. And you can make any size Turk's head you want with this using the enlargement process. And as you make these Turk's heads, you'll do the enlargement process as you go along, and you'll see what I mean. But I'll show you the enlargement process that I know how to do, the same one that's in this book, so that you can have an easier understanding on how to follow it. While we're on the subject of books, here's my recommendations for a few books. If you're interested in doing decorative type knot work, the Harrison Book of Knots. It's mainly about bell ropes. And Turk's heads, and a few lanyard knots. Then there's Tom Hall's Western Tack Tips. Very good book. Shows you how to make horse gear, bridles, Turk's heads, and some sennits. If I can find the sennits. Then we have more Western Tack Tips by Tom Hall again, teaching you how to make more horse gear. And some braiding. Different types of Turk's heads again. These are diamond knots. And I must have passed the sentence. and just different types of braiding in there. And a very good book that just came out here recently is by Ron Edwards, Advanced Leatherwork, Interesting Braids and Flat Plats. He goes into quite a lot of detail on some braids that you don't usually see in some of the other books. Lots of different braids you can use when you're making lanyards. There's no shortage of them in this book. But those are my recommendations. Also, Bruce Grant's book, The Encyclopedia of Rawhide and Leather Braiding, is a good one. I don't have one to show you right here, but you can usually find that in your local library. But it's by Bruce Grant.
Okay, here you have pretty much your standard Turk's head. This is the one that most everybody knows how to make. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-bite. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5-bite, 3-part Turk's head. That's pretty much the standard one. Pretty much every knot tire knows how to make. But the main question is, people want to know, how do you make the bigger ones? To make a bigger Turk's head, pretty much the only thing you do is you just take the smaller one and enlarge it. And enlarging it's not really that hard. Basically every time you enlarge it, you double the size. Or you might go up the size 2 bites every time. And I'll try and show you how to do that. It's really very simple, and once you get the hang of it, you can pretty much make a Turk's head any size you want to. I'll blow this one up a little bit though, and you can see a little bit of the stuff that I've done here. And pretty much we use the same process to enlarge all these Turk's heads. And you can use these things to cover these bell ropes, and they look pretty nice when you get through with them.